Hey guys, my name is Latoya Dixon Smith of Greenville Boudoir, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to find the right boudoir photographer for you. Stay tuned.
On the beat.
All right, so if you're new to the channel, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and make sure that you stick around and find some more videos that might be of interest to you. There's lots of boudoir tips and inspiration on our channel. But today we're talking about how to find the right boudoir photographer for you. Because you may, if you have not already started your search for finding a boudoir photographer for your session, whether it's your first one, whether it's not your first one, there are some things that you want to take into consideration. So we're going to cover it in this video. All right, so one of the main considerations that you want to make when you are looking for the right boudoir photographer for you is that their style is what you're looking for. Not every photographer shoots the same, not every photographer edits the same, not every photographer poses the same. And even when you go from one boudoir photographer to another, if you notice that there are several in your city, that their styles are going to be different because we're all artists, we all are inspired by different things, and we all have a different process in what it takes to not only capture the image, but how we frame the image in our head and as we see it, as well as how we edit it on the back end. Some style considerations to consider. There are photographers who have more of a lighter, brighter, we call it light and airy approach. And there are others who have a darker, moodier approach. And there's some that are in between that have a variety or versatility in the way that they shoot, edit, and compose their images. In addition to that, as I mentioned, like posing is another consideration. So you have to determine what's going to be right for you. You know, if you are more reserved and you see that photographers are sharing photos that are a little bit more risque or a little bit more provocative or free with how they are posing the subjects, or even what the subjects are willing to do, if you see a consistent trend with that, you may want to take that into consideration. If you're wanting something a little bit more tasteful or toned down, then you want to look for that in their portfolio. So make sure that you're doing a good job at looking at the style that they are presenting and basing your decision to hire them off of that versus going to someone who offers photography in general and asking them to convert to the style that you're looking for, so to speak. Even though there's no problem with that, I think you'll end up happier and you'll find it more a good fit when you look for someone who has the style that you're necessarily looking for. All right, so number two, a secondary consideration that you'll want to have and consider when you're deciding if a boudoir photographer is right for you is your budget. And this is something not to be ashamed about. It's not something to kind of beat around the bush about. It's really going to help you when you're honest and upfront about what you're willing to spend on the images and the experience that you desire. Boudoir photography is a luxury. It should be a luxury. It should be the experience that you desire, to be in a place that is welcoming, that is comfortable, that you feel autonomous in your decisions of what you're doing, and it should be safe. And so you will find that sometimes you have to be a little bit more discerning of who you select. But I would say that your budget is going to be a huge consideration in that too, because different photographers offer different things. Some will include their images, some will allow you to purchase your images separately. Some will have products like albums, artwork, enlargements, you know, other little knickknacks that you can take away and gifts that you can take away from your session. So you're going to want to be mindful of what you're willing to spend when it comes to your experience with this session. Now, budget is not the only thing that you should consider. Again, this is why this video is going to cover a few more things, but it is something that you want to be honest about and you want to be upfront about. There's no shame in saying, you know, maybe at this time it's not something that I'm willing to invest in, but maybe in the future, or if you want to save up, even photographers like myself, we offer payment plans so that you can pay up to leading your session. So just make sure that you are considering that when you're planning and choosing the right boudoir photographer for you. All right, so the next consideration when you're searching for the right boudoir photographer for you is to look at the reviews, look at their testimonials, and see what kind of feedback they've received from their past and previous clients. You can go to places like Google, Yelp, Facebook. Any of those places will show you how many times they've been reviewed, what those reviews are, and what the feedback that they're getting from their clients. You can learn a lot of things. Now you can also learn some things that probably are minuscule in the decision making, but you can also see, what were some of the their clients' favorite things about the session. Maybe that will help you determine that if this is something that is really important to you, and that's something that their previous clients have noted as something that they enjoyed or that they appreciated about their session, then that may be something that you want to consider, doing some more research into and looking further with that photographer. But definitely want to make sure that they're reputable and they have some reviews somewhere. And if they don't, that's okay. It may mean that they're newer to boudoir photography, and you can ask them personally, ask them to provide some feedback from their previous clients, whether it's written down somewhere or not, or even asking them like what has been some of the things that their clients have said that they really loved about the session that sets them apart from someone else. So that's just another consideration for choosing the right boudoir photographer for you. All right, so the next consideration I would say is just getting on the phone and talking with them. I know that we are in an age where people are super busy and it's just easier to text and to, kind of go through a website and read over some things, but nothing beats getting on the phone and having a conversation with someone. Not only do you get a sense of their personality, but you can get a sense of, what they're most passionate about. And even me, someone who doesn't particularly like talking on the phone that much, I make it a point to get on the phone with a prospective client so that I can hear, what are their past experiences. If this is not their first boudoir session, then what was their experience like in the past, and why are they looking to go to someone else? You may hear some things, or I may hear some things that is going to help me to, put your mind at ease. I've had questions with prospective clients about wardrobe, or about privacy in the studio, about how big the space is, how many sets that we have, and things like that, where you probably won't get that just by looking on the website. And you probably won't know that I'm a mom who went through her own body journey herself and having to learn to embrace and love her body after having 2 kids. You may not get all of that on the website. And so getting on the phone so that we can talk and to see, what's your vision, what's motivating you to do a session. All of that can come out in a phone call. So I would recommend getting on the phone. Again, you may not be a fan of it, but I guarantee that it's going to help you get a little closer to finding the right and best fit for you when it comes to choosing a boudoir photographer. All right, so we've covered quite a few things here to help you determine how to find the right boudoir photographer for you. But it really is only scratching the surface. So if you're interested in a session, or if you're even interested in the process of how we do things here at Greenville Boudoir, I would recommend you schedule a call with me. Again, we talked about that, so that I can help you with your process. And if not, then you can feel free to hop over in our ever so supportive VIP community of women, and that link is also below here. But I hope this is helpful, especially if you are looking to hire someone to do this session for you, especially if it's your first time. I really, from the bottom of my heart, hope that it is the experience that you desire. It's the experience that you deserve. And I would love to, especially if you're local, but if you're not, you can also travel here to Greenville, South Carolina to visit us at our studio, and we would love to support you. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.